Welcome back, world. To those of you who are returning to us after episodes 1 and 2, that means that there is some brave seekers and heroic pioneers among you. That's encouraging. Today, in this episode, we're going over the 8 pod powers of the psyche, and we're going to come up with a synomnia connection for you using color coding and also giving you locations based on something similar to a HUD screen in a video game. I think you'll like. You better. This HUD of enlightenment that we'll be using to educate you and increase your understanding of natural law has a lot of sophistication to it. So we'll begin with a few layers at a time, building and building, to eventually you'll be there enjoying all the sophistication, but you'll be surprised how easy it is for you to understand. One of the 2 main things you want to focus on in this episode is the color coding of the powers and the locations. So we'll start with the color coding. There's going to be 12 colors you'll see a lot in our synomnia coding, which is black, white, tan, and brown. Those are our neutral colors. They're used to associate with concepts that are universal and not specific to a given power or mojo. Then we also use 8 colored powers: blue, dark gray, red, gold, steel gray, pink. We also use purple and green. These are used to reference individual pod powers and also mojos and some other things later on, like social alchemy. But for right now, we'll start with the pod powers and go from there. So when you see those 8 powers I mentioned, the blue, the dark gray, the red, the gold, the pink, the steel gray, the purple, and the green, that is for pod powers, for mojos, magic, very specific. And when you see tan, brown, black, or white, that's more neutral and used to distinguish concepts that are for all. We're not related to any mojo or pod power. Next, another convention is used is the quadrants of the psyche: the front left, the front right, the rear right, and rear left. These sync up with the HUD screen, so that the upper right here, that's going to correlate with the rear right, and down here, lower right for me, that's going to be front right here, and then this part of the screen down here, that relates to this, and then up here, this part of the screen relates to this part of the psyche. So the color coding and locations, that's what you really want to take away from this lesson. Another thing you'll see in this filming is the use of hand signs, the closed hands and also open. These refer to different pod powers and correlate to yang and yin. The closed hand, this refers to yang, and the open refers to yin. Yang powers are powers that are more firm in nature. They are literal, directive, logic-based, and objective, as opposed to yin powers, which are adaptive, interpretive, values-based, and subjective. This may seem like a fun video game, and good, that'll help the learning process, but know this: learning the pod powers, their locations, and the color coding that goes with them is essential for building your synomnia. So this is the foundation for learning about your powers, the powers of everyone else, and how to unlock them. So it is crucial that you get a fluent understanding. These pod powers layer up into all the mojo designs, the soul designs, into social alchemy, development, spirit forming, everything. So it's very important that you don't have any mental lag trying to actually hold on to or find those concepts. The 8 powers, where they're located, and the color coding that goes with them. You'll need to have that at a fluent level in order to enjoy and understand the material that will come up afterwards. And with that preamble out of the way, we begin the lesson. There are 2 powers that are located in the left rear quadrant of the psyche. They are Nai and Vi. I'll start with Nai. The hand sign for Nai is the open hand, touch to the left rear quadrant of the psyche. The color we associate with Nai is blue, having to do with infinite oceans. Think of it that way. Next is the symbol that is associated with Nai is the double / symbol, as in looking forward to the future. The power of Nai focuses on the concept of the unknown for the psyche. Some keywords associated with Nai are detachment and call to imagine, conceptualization and envisioning, synthesis and synergy, inclusiveness and perspective shifting, meaningful insight and seeing the angles, speculation and prediction, global modeling and long-range planning, sense of destiny and visionary drive, independence of mind and secrecy, proactive theorizing and abductive reasoning. Because of the focus of Nye on the concept of the unknown and the powers that go along with that, Nye gives off the distinct signal of dissatisfaction. Now, each of the powers has two mojo designs, two cognitive configurations that use that power as its top power. So with the power of Nye, there are two mojos that use that as their top power. One is the Nye Ji. That's what I am. There's also the Nye Z, which is the other mojo that uses Nye as its source power. Both those mojos are called Nye Alpha because Nye is their source power. The other power in the left rear quadrant of the psyche is the power of Vi. This is a power that all humans have. I also have the power of Vi, but for me it's in my unconscious. And that's how it's going to be in all the quadrants. You'll have one power that is conscious and one that is unconscious, for a total of 4 conscious powers and 4 unconscious powers. It is the 4 conscious powers and how they relate to each other that we can read in your gesturing, your facial mannerisms, etc. And that's what we're going to teach you. So this is the beginning, kind of learning what the powers are that you'll be reading later on. Vi focuses on the concept of the known for the psyche. The hand sign for Vi, as you just saw, is the closed hand touched to the left rear quadrant of the psyche. The symbol for Vi is the double backward slash, relating to looking to the past or to historical data. Some keywords associated with Vi are recall and call to remember, memories and experience, exact information and verifiable data, specificity and practicality, stability and security, consistency and reliability, maintaining and preserving, sense of tradition and historic roots, attention to detail and standards of excellence, solidity and certainty. Because Vi is focused on the concept of the known for the psyche, it gives off the distinct signal of concern. The 2 mojos that use Vi as their source power are the Vi Ji and the Vi Z. These are the Vi Alpha because Vi is their source power.